Hi everybody. My name is Sanyanth, and I am a human-centered design and innovation specialist. I've been working with social enterprises and social innovative projects across the world, doing phenomenal things to make a better difference to our society. So let me just start off by telling what is social entrepreneurship and what is social innovation. So we look outside our windows and look around us, and then if you find all these social problems, and then it not only annoys us, it gets you angry, but then you're not satisfied with what's going around. Obviously, government is trying, but then you're not satisfied with what's happening, and then you look at it from a different perspective. Wait a minute, I think I see an opportunity here. Okay, if there's a problem, then there's a solution. Now, for social entrepreneurs, this is a business solution, all right? Now, I'll come to that. So for us design thinkers, we need to go look at things from the beginner's perspective. So for a good example is Nearshot. They are a group in San Francisco. What they did was they wanted to study homelessness. So they were like, okay, let's go to the base of it. Let's pretend we don't know nothing about it. So let's go crazy. So what did they do? They attached GoPros on homeless people and observed them for a couple of days. So this means that they saw how they walked around, how people are treating them, and whenever they are outside at night, what is happening, how are people treating them, and just everything in general. And this kind of uncovered certain things that we don't normally see. And what they started doing is they started collecting stories from different homeless people. And this also meant they were able to reconnect some homeless people to their families after even 10 years. And what they are trying to do here is humanize this thing. For example, here is another company in San Francisco called Lava May. They again started looking at it from a different perspective. Homelessness, same issue, but in a different way. They were like, okay, these guys don't take a shower, right? Obvious, but let's go deeper. What happens if we don't take a shower for like 5 days, 1 month? How do we feel? We feel there's no self-esteem. I don't feel confident at all about myself. So they started going into the experience, the human-centered design. All right? And then they were like, let's give them a bath and see how they feel. So San Francisco were giving out old buses. So they decided, let's take these old buses, convert them into portable showers. And now they are this awesome looking bus, and they are being funded by big companies. And they are doing well, but they may not be or may not be able to end homelessness. But what they are really attacking here is dignity. All right, dignity is something that would open up opportunity, as the owner says. All right. So next, In Motion, a really young chap in Delhi. I met him a week ago, and what he tries to do is again empower auto rickshaw drivers and try to bring respect back to how we treat them. And also, in this way, he's also a social entrepreneur because he's found a way to monetize this and create this huge auto rickshaw economy around it. All right. And then we all know who is this. He's also called the Menstrual Man. And for something that cost 100 rupees, he's able to give it at rupees 15. All right. This is social innovation, and he's not doing it for charity. He's making money out of it. How? He's selling this technology to people who wants to make a difference in their society. But take this technology, employ women, they can sell it out, and they can make money. All right. So this is a scalable model, and it's replicable. That is the key to social entrepreneurship. And it is a $1 trillion market. This is and it's growing. And when I tell people about social entrepreneurship, they always ask, making money and changing the world? Like that's ever going to happen. How is this? No, it's not possible. But then I'll tell you how it's possible. Because if you treat profit as a fuel, which will take you to the destination, which is social impact, then it will happen. Profit is seen as the fuel, and impact is your destination. All right. Next. And there are tons of organizations nowadays coming to give out money for social entrepreneurs. One of them is D Prize, Hult Prize, Clinton Global Initiative. They do it, and Tonic is social. It's a social impact investment company, and the social and responsible investment is the future of venture capital, because now they want to see, not just how much money you can make, but then how much you're going to, impact your society. And this has gone up to as a 6 trillion market in 2014, and I can only see this growing and expanding rapidly. And so right now there is a business and there's a non-profit, right? Where do we belong? The few of us who wants to, do this in, this way. So right now there is something called the B Corp certification, which is a label they put on your organization saying that now you're a B Corp, and now welcome. Now this is a label that will kind of state that you are a social enterprise. Why is this important? Because you are now forming into a community of change makers. And also, if I'm an impact investor, I look at that. If I see that you are a B Lab certified, I'm more likely to give you my money. And so I was part of another social venture called Pulse Active Savings, started by some of my friends in San Francisco. What they tried to do is, they said, okay, why are people poor? And they saw it from a different angle. Let's try and save this money that would otherwise be lost. What are we talking about? Cash in hand. Cash in hand, all of us, we know how it just magically vanishes, right? Same thing for these poor people. They are daily wage workers. So I buy something, go to my vendor, buy something for, let's say, 40 rupees. I give the vendor 50 rupees, take my 10 rupees back. That cash in hand, I hide it in some pillow, under my pillow, or in a secret cup. That goes off somewhere magically. My son wants to buy toffee, or someone's buying a cigarette or gutka, whatever it is, and just magically vanishes. So that money we try to save. Okay, how we use mobile savings money to so next time when we are at the vendor, it goes into this virtual account. That 10 rupees doesn't come into me cash in hand. It goes into a virtual bucket. Why is it better? Because once it's not in our hands, we are incentivized mentally to withdraw it and take it out. So how can somebody withdraw it? They got to go to a different vendor and then buy something such as vegetables or fruits. They can't purchase, cigarettes or alcohol, and that's the way this thing works. And we found a way to make it into a social business, and which is scalable. And so we saw, okay, this is a fancy enough idea. Let's go and try it out. So we went to slums in India last year in 2013. We went and we tried it out, and then we found out that each family were able to have at least 15 meals more by using this. And this project then went on to be presented at the Clinton Global Initiative in 2013, and which is also a place where we got to connect with some of my this is the guy, Mohammed Yunus is the guy who inspired me to get into the social enterprise world. And after that, I left to Colombia. It's not Colombia, it's Colombia, all right, in Latin America. And I stumbled across this company called Social Lab, which brings in Latin America's best social entrepreneurs into this incubation. It's beyond just an incubation acceleration. They give you all the help you need to, survive, implement your idea, grow up to a point where you don't need us anymore. All right, and I was again helping them as a design thinking and innovation specialist, and got to work with teams doing something really, really unique, scalable, and done by youngsters between the age of 20 to 28. This is fantastic. All right, and so what we design thinking do is the fundamental principle of design thinkers is that in our brainstorming sessions, there's going to be a lot of post-its. And then you're going to find a lawyer, musician, an environmental activist, an entrepreneur, and this is called design thinking. And then we go mad over brainstorming, and the stuff that comes out of it are miracles. All right. So next, so Minkai is an organization that I was able to work with. They went into conflict areas and very vulnerable communities and decided, without social cohesion, there will not be peace, and poverty won't go away. So they went up and created open spaces where interactions can happen, and also created this and with the aim of increasing consumption. They created, these guys are poor. Where are they going to buy and sell things, on that frequency? So they created this parallel market where it's called time banking. Some of you may know it. So I give you an hour of massage, you make me dinner. So interactions like that. So that's called time banking. So my 1 hour of massage is equal to something of something else. So through that, they wanted to, and by creating open spaces, these conflict areas, all of these places, there's nature there, they're trying to form a community in vulnerable and conflict areas. So this, all right, and now let's come back to our ground here. I have a question for you, all you youngsters here. How many of you have an idea that's keeping you awake at night and you're constantly writing down notes or something, and then you're like, man, this is an awesome idea. Let me write down something. All right. Anybody else? And you have it, you've been thinking about it maybe a year ago, it's somewhere lying down there in your to-do list, all right? And then what happens, this is the problem in India, and then it goes into your before I die list, all right? And then another one bites the dust, okay? It just never comes to life, and ideas die too often, which is sad, because now is the time we are young, we're wild and free, we can afford to fail, we don't have 5 kids who we have to pay for. So this is the time we can afford to fail and less to risk. So there is a ritual in India where we after graduation we try to work in 2 years in a big organization, then do your masters and then carry on. Wait a minute, you can work in an MNC when you're 40 or 50. Now is the time to go crazy, use your creativity and do something different. And something that your society needs, and in a way, that's why I'm introducing you to the concept of social entrepreneurship, where you make your money, be creative, and you add value to your society. And this is why I want to foster social entrepreneurship amongst the youngsters in India, because there is so much going on already in India in this space, and we have to capitalize on this opportunity. And here is why, another reason why ideas don't come into life, because we have a temptation to overanalyze every problem and every potential problem. Hey, wait a minute, who's going to give us money? No, if I tell him, then he's going to steal my idea. But the truth of the matter is that only 0.03% of these kind of problems actually come into life. So go for it, and make milestones. Every time you come up with an idea, don't just stop it there. Make sure at least by the end of the month, I got to talk to somebody. I'm going to make this happen. Maybe buy a domain name or talk to somebody. But something has to keep churning to keep you alive. Otherwise, it's going to become into your before I die list and never going to happen. All right. And find your team. Now is the time. In college, you can form your design team. There's people doing very, very different things. So slowly find out who are the smart ones who you can partner with, someone who you can, have a good rapport with, and then find those guys and tell, hey, I have this idea. What do you think? Shall we try and make this into a reality? And get a mentor. It's important, because someone who believes in you, no matter what happens, you need him with you all the time. And a miracle is what seems impossible but happens anyway. I did not say that. Men in Black 3, Griffin said that. But why I'm saying this is because, this is, you know about this. When you're looking, when you send this vibe and that I need to find this person, and then the universe kind of finds that person. For example, out of 9 million people who's out there, only maybe 2 people will be able to understand you. But then if you channel your idea to finding that one person, then slowly you will find him. But it's not an overnight process. But then I have experienced it myself, how I was able to find those people. But then it is through going through 100 people, you will finally end up, because these are all connections, the way universe works. And that's why I want to again tell about these people called enablers who would make things happen. Those kind of people who if you talk something, they will somehow connect you to somebody who may help you. It could be a cousin, it could be a good friend, but we need more of them. And you got to be one of them. Because otherwise, it's never going to happen. When a friend tells you an idea, no matter how good or bad, you don't tell him it's a bad idea. Let him fail on his own fault. But you don't pull him down. I think that's one of those, another thing in India, you have to support people and be an enabler. If you don't have money to give him, tell him, okay, I can make your free website. I can do things for you. It's all right. As long as his idea can come to life, then it's fine. You're doing your part in making sure his dream comes to a reality. And there is, again, no more space for business as usual. Whatever it is that you're going to do, make sure that you are doing it in an inclusive manner. for those people who are not going to be a social entrepreneur and doing something else, this is one thing that I want you to take away, because we all have an equal play in this, and we are all affected by whatever each and everybody do. So let's give it back positively. And I want to end by saying, start making those calls to those enablers who you think already exist in your circle. And because if there is one thing worse than failing, it's not trying out, guys. All right? So thank you.